Welcome to Darman Chess. I'm Alex Darman. Wanted to do this video to do a couple things. I wanted to show a game I played online, playing some Blitz online. A couple of reasons. I wanted to show an opening called the Vienna game, the Vienna System. Different things about it. I wanted to show the game, not because it's incredibly accurate on both parts, but more because it's instructive towards a trap that I used to win the game. This is a trap that is super applicable in various positions. Maybe not all, but I find in a lot of positions I get in my games, I can apply this trap, and it goes like this. The trap is the closest thing there is to it is a trap that is called the fishing pole trap, and I will show you why it is called this. So the game goes as following: one e4. I play a lot of e4, and I play the majority of the time. I've been playing the Vienna system, and it goes like this. The Vienna system, to be on the board, must go like this. It must go e4, e5. There's ways to transpose to it, but the main way to get to the Vienna system position is this: e4, e5, knight c3. Now we're in the Vienna system. So all you need to do to get this opening on the board is play e4, they play e5. The reason you are going to get this on the board a lot is because e4, e5 is about the most common way to open up for both players. And then most of the time, white will go to put their knight on f3 and threaten this pawn. So in response, a lot of the time, black will put their knight on c6 to cover this pawn. And so in that position, you either get commonly this bishop move to c4, which is the Italian, or you get this bishop over here. The Italian game is right here with this bishop move, or you get the bishop right here pinning this knight, and that's called the Roy Lopez, also known as the Spanish game. Now, there's a lot of theory there. These are excellent openings and have been around for ages. I go for the Vienna system. I find it maybe a little bit easier to learn, and it's you can win a lot of games with this. Is the bottom line, especially being the level I'm at, intermediate to perhaps a little advanced. You can just win games with this, and grandmasters as well use this consistently. So, anyways, great opening. So I go knight c3. Now they responded this way, and usually they respond this way to avoid putting their other knight, so their kingside knight, to f6, and so that they're able to avoid this pawn strike in the center, which would be the Vienna gambit. And it's not losing for black, but it's pretty good. It's a very good option for white. So black goes here instead. I go here. This is the move that is recommended by the engine after this knight move. The game goes as follows. Here. I didn't want to trade off white bishops, light squared bishops. I wanted to use it, so I went right here. They move on to develop, and commonly in the Vienna system is this pawn strike in the center using the f pawn, kind of in King's Gambit fashion, to open up this file, and you usually end up castling and using this file with the rook staring straight down towards the king, like so in black's camp. and that's a good attacking idea. But the game follows like this. Knight move, probably getting ready to castle. Pretty standard. Okay. My idea with this pawn move is to block in this bishop from any activity over here so he can't get in my camp, as well as he becomes less of a defensive resource for its own king. So I block him out with a pretty nice wedge here. Oftentimes in the Vienna, I'm getting this, if I can. And if well, the game goes like this. He retreats, because it's really about the only move. I go back here. I was here because I didn't want to trade, but now that I was able to get his light squared bishop away from this square, I can now retain back this diagonal looking straight at black's king, or close to it, in a pretty vital part of black's camp. So I put the bishop back here. So I use a full move just to retain this diagonal. Okay. They castle here. Now, the trap that I want to talk about here is only effective if black is castled. And okay, black doesn't have to castle, but oftentimes castling is used as a method for king security, right? So this is a common way to get the king out of the center of the board and get him safe around his pieces where he can better defend himself. Okay. Now, oftentimes, white can just develop here and get castled as well, and you can have a nice chess game this way. But part of my idea in pushing this pawn is to seclude other pieces with this wedge out from this area, so they're not as well. Oftentimes, if the light squared bishop can get involved in defending, it's a lot harder to make a kingside attack. And so that was my idea with this wedge, is getting the light squared bishop out of the game completely, or at least making it incredibly difficult. So the game proceeds like so. This move is just to get some queenside space. They respond like so. I develop my knight. They try to get my knight out of the game. Now, I put my knight here. I'm trying to provoke my opponent into making this pawn move, thinking he's going to kick out my knight. Now, he will, in a sense, but here comes the trap. My next move proceeds like this. Well, they go here. I take the pawn. I develop my piece. Okay, here's the move. They go here, obviously, to address what's going on here. They don't want my knight in their camp. Fine. The trap, this is the key moment where the trap comes into play. This fishing pole trap. Instead of getting your knight out of there, which would seem like a normal move, you slingshot this pawn up to h4, which may seem crazy because it seems like you're sacrificing a knight for no reason. The reason is, if they take here and I take back like this, it's no holds bar for the rook, and I will be able to utilize him as he will have a completely open file. So this is gambiting this piece, sacrificing it for the sake of development, where I open up this h-file completely for my rook to make a checkmating attack, or my rook to back up a piece or two who is going to make a checkmating attack. The game proceeds like so. They get their king safer on h8. I develop my dark squared bishop. I take here because I didn't want this knight hanging out in the middle of the board, and I didn't mind giving up my dark squared bishop. Whether that's correct or not, that was my idea. So I take, they take back. I put the knight here, backing up this knight. So it still seems like I'm giving away a piece for no reason. We trade in the middle. The king goes back. Now, I didn't understand these king maneuvers. I didn't even understand how that was a resource defensively. In any case, I put my queen right here to start acting like I'm putting on some pressure. And maybe I am. They finally take. This is what I wanted the whole time. The reason this is called the fishing pole trap is because you bait them into taking this so that you open up this file. Now look at this queen. Backed up on an open file by the rook. The next move is checkmate. What black is going to do in this position with these fishing pole traps is they're going to try to give their king some breathing room with this pawn move. And they'd be able to run away, and their king would live happily ever after. Unfortunately, the move here, the only move here, the winning move for white, and perhaps if you want to use this as a puzzle little exercise, you can, and you can pause the video and try to figure out the move for yourself. Right. If you figured this one out, well done. This is the winning move, is moving this pawn in the square of escape. That was the last hope. The king can no longer go to this escape square, which is so useful to survive. So my next move, well, black's next move, was making more room for the king, to no avail, unfortunately, because my next move is checkmate. So this is the reason I want to show this video, not because I myself played completely accurately. I'm sure I had plenty of mistakes. Perhaps even black in this game had chances to win as well. But the way it turned out does make sense, especially regarding this trap. If black doesn't know how to handle this, and a lot of people don't know how to defend this, you can get a pretty quick, easy win. This is absolutely considered a shorter game. And this fishing pole trap, I encourage you to add to your repertoire, as it can be useful in many positions. So it's applicable to a lot of situations, a lot of positions, and just gives you another attacking weapon. I hope you find this compelling and useful for your games. Let me know in the comments, or yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations on what kind of videos you would like me to do next, and I will continue to do my best. In the meantime, you all have a great day, and till next time.